Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Happy August. We are officially in a new month, and boy am I glad, because July, in terms of my budget, was kind of a hot mess, especially the latter half of July. So I'm excited for a fresh start, and I'm extra excited today because we're doing things different in August. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you know that I have been using my 2-page hybrid budget worksheet bundle, and I've been budgeting by month and checking in each week to see if I'm on track with my monthly budget. I'm gonna try something that I haven't done in a while, but something that I used to do regularly when I first started budgeting, and that is budgeting by paycheck. So my husband and I are paid on Tuesdays. So I am going to budget a week at a time, a paycheck at a time. From Tuesday to Monday each week, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write out a weekly budget or a paycheck budget with you all, and I'm going to track my expenses throughout the week, and we're gonna close out our paycheck budget every single week and essentially give myself a fresh start every week, and I am so excited about it. I hope it works out. In preparation for this new way of budgeting and this new kind of journey, it's not really new, it's really going back to an old style. I've printed out enough paycheck budget worksheets from my Honey Lemon collection. If you missed it, this is my collection of printable budget worksheets for August. You can get them by joining my channel membership. The link is down below. You can check out the various tiers to see which tiers get you which worksheets, or you can buy bundles of worksheets on Etsy. All of those links will be down below. But this is the collection for August, and I've printed out a paycheck budget for each week of the month, as well as an expense tracker. I've also printed out some sinking funds things. I'm finally getting my sinking funds under control in August. And also what I have done to kind of prepare myself for this way of budgeting is I deposited enough money into my account, into my checking account, to cover all of August's bills. I had money set aside for sinking funds. Each month I was just taking the money and transferring it into a sinking funds account with the intention of eventually getting my life together and sitting down and allocating those funds into the various categories, but I never did. So I was over budget in July. I took some of the money from that sinking funds account to kind of true everything up and cover where I was over budget. Then I took enough money to cover August's bills and deposited that. And I pulled out what was left. It was about $400. And I went ahead and stuffed that into my sinking funds to get me started. So I am starting brand new, fresh with my sinking funds. It's not the first time this year that I've done that, but it is the first time that I've actually committed to it and sat down and allocated all the funds. So hopefully that'll work. But what that means, taking that money and allocating it for August's bills, means that we are now a month ahead on our bills. And so each week when I sit down to write my budget, I'm gonna allocate money. I'm gonna be able to divide the amount we need for September's bills and put that much money away each week throughout August to pay for September's bills. So my bills each week are no longer gonna be variable. I'm gonna set the same amount of money each week aside so that come the end of August, I will have all of the money I need to pay September's bills, and we will be a month ahead. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm really, really excited about this. I hope it's gonna work out. The great thing about this, you guys, is if I hate the process, it doesn't work for whatever reason, I can always go back to what I was doing before. Personal finance is personal. You can change things up. You can do what you want. This is what I'm going to try for August. So with that said, let's go ahead and set up August's first paycheck of the month. If I flip back to my calendar here, you will see that the first Tuesday of August isn't until the 6th. Hopefully you can see that. Can you guys see that? Yeah, so we actually are going to start this paycheck budget on the last Tuesday of July, which is July 30th. So the paycheck date that we are budgeting is July 30th. And this paycheck is gonna have to last us through until, what did I say, the 6th when we get paid again? Yeah, through the 6th. So the 30th through August 5th. Okay? So the amount that we are working with for this budget that I'm gonna write today is $1,500. That's how much that I have allocated to put towards this budget. And the first thing that I need to do is kind of walk you through this paycheck budget worksheet. I'm gonna be using it a little bit different than it was originally intended when I designed it. So the way that this paycheck budget is designed is there is a section for income. So for me, I would list out all of the income that we are budgeting with. So it would be my husband's paycheck, my paycheck, any rollover or miscellaneous money, etc. Now I'm not gonna put these totals in here because I like to keep our income private. So yeah, I'm not gonna list out how much income each of us contributed towards this $1,500. This isn't even all of our income, it's just what we are budgeting for this week. And of that $1,500, we're gonna pay some of it to our fixed expenses, which I'm gonna list here under checking. So the way that this was designed was anything that I was paying with a debit card would go under checking, and anything I was paying in cash would go under cash envelopes. I used to do a ton of cash budgeting. I don't really do that anymore. We swipe our credit card pretty much for everything. We use the rewards that we build up using our credit card for everything to help us pay for Christmas. I don't have time or energy to run to the bank every single week to pull out money for groceries and then go to the grocery store to then pay that money. We do a lot of our shopping online these days, so we're not gonna do this like checking account and cash envelopes. Instead, it's gonna be fixed expenses and variable expenses. And then anything we are gonna put into sinking funds will go here. Any extra debt payments typically would go here, but you guys know I paid off all of my credit cards. Finally, it feels so good. So we are not gonna be focusing on extra debt at all. We do still have some debt, truck payments and that sort of thing, but we're not focusing on those things right now. So this extra debt category is gonna just get crossed out and remain empty. So then here in this totals section, we're gonna take the amount we started with, we're gonna subtract what we put in each category, and then whatever's left can go into savings if we want, or roll over to the next week, etc., etc. So this is gonna be pretty quick and easy, short and sweet. We're gonna be talking about bills. So again, this is next month's bills. If you've been watching my videos, all of those one-time expenses I was listing in the hybrid budget monthly section. So our lot rent, our DTE bill, our Michigan gas bill, that's all encompassed in here, as is our auto pay category. So all of those little subscriptions that come out, we're not dealing with that auto pay line item in my budget anymore. It's all gonna be together under bills, and I'm just gonna budget a lump sum each week so that we have enough at the end of the month to pay all of next month's bills. So the amount that I'm going to budget for bills to put away towards September is $700. And that essentially is going to be it for fixed expenses. So $700 total. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the totals over here as I go. So under the income amount, or the total amount we are budgeting, it was $1,500. This checking account section, we put $700. All right, next we have cash envelopes, which it's not gonna be cash, it's just variable transactions are gonna go under here. This is everything that we can really control, right? This is our groceries, our eating out, our spending, that's gonna go here. So we're gonna start with grocery. And keeping in mind the fact that I just stocked up on a ton of stuff. We just went to Sam's Club. We just did a big Walmart order. We don't need to budget like $300 for groceries. So I want to budget a little bit more than I think I'm going to need, just because this is my first time in a long time doing budget by paycheck. I don't want to mess it up. It's easier doing it month to month because you have a whole month's worth of money available, right? But if we're doing it week to week, we got to stick as close as possible to our budget week to week. Because we can't count on money to roll over till next week, right? So for groceries, I'm gonna budget $250. I'm hoping we don't need to use that full amount, but that's what I'm gonna budget. All right, next up then we have eating out. And if you watched my July budget closeout, you will know that we went way over budget in eating out because we tried to lower our eating out budget by too much in July. So with that in mind, I'm gonna raise our eating out budget back up, especially this week because we've got a dinner with some family members of ours coming up that we already have planned. We're gonna go out for a sit-down dinner. I'm not sure if it's going to be just my husband and I or if it's going to be all four of us. But either way, I want to budget high because I don't want to come in over budget my first week budgeting by paycheck. So I'm going to budget $150 for eating out. Next up is spending. So I recently finally set up my sinking funds. So things like prescriptions from the pharmacy, things, I can't think of any other examples right now. Oh, any gifts that we need to buy, anything like that is gonna start coming out of sinking funds again. So for my spending budget, I don't anticipate there being a lot of spending. But again, I'm gonna budget high because it's the first month out. As we go through these budgets week after week, I could consider tweaking and lowering these amounts, but I wanna start with enough money to get me through. You know what I'm saying? So for spending, I'm gonna budget $100. Okay, so let me just really quickly, I'm doing this off the top of my head. I didn't really write a rough draft, so let me just really quickly make sure I haven't already overshot the amount of money. Okay, so that's $1,200 total for these two categories. Okay, so $250 plus $150 plus $100 is $500 here for variable. Okay, next up is sinking funds. And for sinking funds, I'm going to set aside $200 for sinking funds / savings challenges. All of our savings challenge money is now going towards our sinking funds, our short and long-term savings, since we're no longer focusing on paying off debt. So the sinking funds money and the savings challenge money is one and the same. And I'm gonna do $200 for that. And you guys will see in an upcoming video how I split this up and how I allocate it, right? So it's $200 for that. So let's fill in these totals. So we had $500 in cash envelopes. We had $200 in sinking funds, nothing in extra debt. So let's go ahead and figure out what's remaining then. We started with $1,500. We took $700 for our fixed expenses, We took $500 for our variable expenses. We took $200 for our sinking funds slash savings challenges, and that's gonna leave us with $100. And there's a little section down here. The way I've designed this was so after everything was paid, any money that was left could go into savings. For me, the savings is up here under sinking funds. I still have $100 left. So I'm gonna use that as sort of a buffer for any overspending we do in any of these other categories. If at the end of the month we have it left, then we're not doing monthly. If by the end of the week we have that $100 left, I'll chuck it into savings or I'll roll it over. I'll kind of decide what to do with it. But for now, since we're new to this and we're just kind of starting out and I don't really know how it's gonna go, I'm just gonna keep it down here as a $100 buffer. That way, if we go over budget in one of our variable categories or we need to set aside more for bills or whatever, you never know. When you're starting something new, it definitely doesn't hurt to budget high. So that's what we're gonna do here. And that's my paycheck budget. It's very simple, right? When I sit down and do my hybrid budget, I'm filling out like 500 line items and trying to add everything up. When we're going by week, we're looking at a short 7-day period. I have a good idea of what's to come in the upcoming week, so I can keep it a lot simpler. So that's a look at that. I'm really excited about the prospect of paycheck budgeting. Something that I'm a little bit concerned about is I've got money being set aside for September's bills. I need somewhere to track to make sure that as August bills come in that they're getting paid so I don't confuse myself. So that's what I'm gonna use this calendar for. I'm gonna go in and write down our monthly bills around about where they're due, and I'm just gonna like check them off or cross them off throughout the month as they come in. Actually, maybe I'll just list them here in the notes section because I'm not even sure what days a lot of these bills need to be paid anymore. You know, round about the 2nd or the 3rd, but we're getting more, I want to be more detailed than that, than just like, oh, this week this needs to be paid. So I'll list them for now, and then as the bills come in, maybe I will annotate them on the days of the month so that I have a better idea of when my bills are due and how much they are moving forward. For now, I'm just going to kind of list them out here in this notes section under this bills category. And just give me a place to like check them off as they are paid. Now the money's already in my account, like I said. I just can't, maybe I can set them up for auto pay, like all of my bills. Wow, that would be amazing to be able to do that. I might do that. Either way, I'm gonna need to double check and make sure that they were paid. So let me just list these out really quickly. Okay, so I listed all of the ones I could think of. It's a lot. You can probably see, looking at this long list now, why I lump all of these little subscriptions, or I used to anyway, lump them all into just one like auto pay line item in my budget, because it's a lot of stuff coming out and I'm sure I've forgotten something. This was just quick, like off the top of my head. I'm gonna go back through and double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. And I think I might just consider putting all of this on auto pay. So I don't even have to think about it, since I know I have the money in the account now that we are a month ahead. I don't know, maybe I should wait and save some more money so that I have like more cushion just in case the dates fall funny with our paydays or whatever. I don't know. Either way, this is something new that I'm trying, being a month ahead. We'll see how it goes. But that is it for this paycheck budget. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you guys think about this style of budgeting. If you think it's gonna work out for me, or if you think this is not gonna work out. I really don't know. It's definitely gonna be trial and error. I will come and check in with you guys at the end of the week and let you know like how the variable spending went, if we were able to stick to this budget. You guys will also see a video coming soon with me stuffing this $200. Actually, I don't know whether I want to do stuffings every week or just every month or what I want to do, but I definitely want to use my fun savings challenges. I bought so many new savings challenges to help me save for these sinking funds. So let me know what you think about that. For now, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I would love to have you come back, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.